With Steve Stone and Harry Carey back in Wrigley Field, here are the lineups. For the Phillies, Samuel at second, Thompson in center, Hayes at first, Schmidt at third, Wilson in right, James in left, Parrish the catcher, Jeltz at short, Tom Hume, ordinarily relief pitcher, will be the starting pitcher. For the Cubs, it will be Martinez in center, Sandberg at second, Durham at first, Dawson in right, Mumphrey in left, Moreland at third, Sundberg the catcher, Noche at short, and Les Lancaster the pitcher. The umpires are Larry Pancino. Behind the plate, Brocklander at first, DeMuth at second, McSherry at third. We're just about ready to play ball, and a standing room only crowd again.
There you take a look at Les Lancaster, who is going to the mound for his 14th Major League appearance. That's how they'll line up behind him defensively. This is his 6th Major League start, his 2nd appearance and first start against the Phillies. Last time out against Montreal was a relief appearance. In fact, his last 2 times out have been in relief. He pitched a couple of innings, gave up a run on 2 hits. His last start was against San Francisco. That was on July 19th. He wasn't involved in a decision in a 4-3 loss. And he's got his work cut out for him. The wind is out of the southeast, 15 miles an hour, blowing out toward the left field corner.
And the first pitch is a strike call. Today is Leaf Candy Incorporated Special Olympics Day here. Over 1,300 people are in attendance courtesy of Leaf Candy, including 300 Special Olympians who are honored before the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. A bouncing ball. Noche. He throws them out. 1 gone. The Cubs honored 300 Special Olympians who are guests of Leaf Incorporated. Participating in the salute to the Special Olympians were Hall of Famers Roy Campanella and Billy Williams. There you see Roy and Billy there, as well as Kelly Cash, Miss America, whom you'll see up here a little later. She's there in the picture to your left. Here's the pitch to Milt Thompson. A little bit low. The salute to the Special Olympians is sponsored by Leaf Candy. And the Olympians are on their way to South Bend where the games start tomorrow. Here's the pitch, foul out of play. Throwing off the ceremonial first pitch was Special Olympian Shanique Varner. She was escorted to the pitcher's mound by Paul Mullen, president of Leaf, who's a sponsor of the games at South Bend tomorrow. There's a strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Milt Thompson hitting .291. Wild one goes back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Milt Thompson.
Thompson came over from the Atlanta Braves in a fine deal for Philadelphia that brought them Steve Bedrosian, and they sent Ozzie Virgil along to Atlanta. Thompson fits in very nicely in center field. He's excellent defensively. He's come into his own as a hitter here in Philadelphia, and you know Bedrosian with 30 saves is leading the National League.
2-2 pitch, foul out of play. Detroit just got 3 in the 5th. They lead the Yankees 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Cleveland leading at Toronto 3-0 at the end of 7. There's a foul ball again. San Francisco is leading at Cincinnati 6-0 in the top of the 5th, but the game is not an official game yet, and it's being delayed by rain. Milt Thompson out of a crouch. Fastball low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind blowing out towards the left field wall.
Lancaster appears to have a good fastball today. I'd like to see him get something off speed over the plate, but he'll probably go with the fastball here.
Ground ball to Moreland. Nice play. There's a throw, and he is safe. He beat it out. Nice play by Moreland, and he tried to throw off balance from foul territory while running away from first base. He made a play like that yesterday, but Thompson was too fast today.
Good effort by Moreland, who spears it. Can't get anything on the throw. And Thompson just runs too well. No chance to get him at first.
Thompson has called time to tie his shoelace. He might have run out of his shoe. Does it take that long to tie his shoelace?
They are really big shoes. We saw enough of Rick's shoe yesterday to last for some time. He's not in the lineup today, much to the delight of Les Lancaster.
Yeah, he was a big shoe yesterday. One out, one on.
Thompson has stolen 30 bases this year. He's been caught stealing only 6 times, and odds are overwhelming that he's going to be going.
Here's the pitch. There we go. There's the peg. He's got it swiped easily. Jim Sundberg had to do a double take on the throw.
No chance to get Milt Thompson. It's a breaking ball, and Sundberg cannot get it out of his glove. Even if he did, unlikely you're going to get him. He got a great jump off Lancaster, and a tough ball to throw, the off-speed breaking ball.
Boy, the way they steal on our young pitchers is something. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a drive, going to be caught. No double play. And that, of course, is just youth and inexperience so far as holding men on. And they'll get progressively better as time goes on. You know, when you take 4 or 5 first-year pitchers on a staff, you know that you have to pay the price.
That was very good base running by Milt Thompson. Looked for a second like he was going to be doubled off, but the ball was hit softly, and he had some time to get back.
Here now is Mike Schmidt.
And before the game, he was lamenting the fact that he hadn't hit a fly ball to left field in 30 at-bats. So look out today.
The pitch. Curveball outside or a slider. Mike Schmidt with 22 homers, 16 runs batted him, hitting .295. He's 8 out of 30 against the Cubs pitching this year. The pitch. He had a cut. He was going for the downs on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Today's national anthem was performed by Julianne Smith, Miss Virginia. Kelly Cash was scheduled, but she has a little laryngitis. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thompson the lead. He fouls it back. He's in a hole, 1 and 2.
And you can see the spot they want to throw Mike Schmidt is up and in, off the plate, and above the letters. Like most power hitters, he has a little hole in his swing there. Getting it there is the problem. If you don't want to go in, then you have to go away with the soft breaking ball out of the strike zone. He's ahead of him 1 and 2. Doesn't want to give him anything too good.
Now he's ready. Beautiful day for baseball. Hey, struck him out. Schmidt goes down swinging. 1 man left. We're going to the bottom of the first. No score. With Steve Starr and Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We're going to the bottom of the first, and we're going to look at Tom Hume as a starting pitcher for the first time.
And this is his 5th start of the year. He has started in this ballpark before. That's how they'll line up behind him. And last time out, he threw the ball very well, but he picked up a loss against Atlanta, going 7 innings, giving up 7 hits and 2 earned runs, walked only 1. In fact, his last 3 times out as a starter, he's walked only 1 man. He's got a hard sinker. That's his best pitch. He likes to try to keep it down, so he should get a lot of ground balls today. And he's got a slider and a curveball to go with it. Neither of them are horribly effective, but if he keeps his sinker down, he can be tough.
Here we go with Dave Martinez hitting .307.
Cubs with a 3-game losing streak. The Phillies on the heels of a 5-game winning streak. They've won 8 of their last 10, and they're the hottest team in all of the major leagues.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals thank the good Lord for the Pittsburgh Pirates last night. They broke their 7-game losing streak. An error led to 2 runs to tie the game in the 8th, and they won it after 2 out in the 9th. There's a pitch foul. Jim O'Donnell sends along information that Paul Nicholson, press box manager at Arlington Park, is leaving Chicago today to make his home in Phoenix. A great Cub fan.
And
he's got to visit our restaurant in Mesa. We'll buy him a drink.
Can't beat a new customer.
I'll buy him a drink.
You have to buy him a drink.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, low and in. I tell you what, everybody who's watching the game at Harry and Steve's in Mesa right now, I'm buying the drink. Steve, I tried to prevail, but so I'm going to buy it. Here's the smash, base hit, and Martinez rounds first, holds up. Ordinarily, the house buys a drink on a home run, so let's buy a drink right now for everybody who's there at this moment. Lock the doors. Don't let anybody else in.
Dave Martinez hits the ball very hard. Looks like Samuel just is able to get a glove on it as it goes out in the outfield. Harry, I keep telling you time and time again, the only thing on the house is the roof.
I can't get any money from you, so I might as well give it away in the way of free drinks for the customer.
Good hit and run situation for the Cubs. Not exactly the daily double, but certainly the situation sets up the same.
Here's the pitch, a little bit outside. Well, the Leaf Candy Company certainly should be recognized for this great day for the Special Olympians who are en route to South Bend where the games start tomorrow.
So the Leaf Candy Company is branching out into public service, huh?
Yeah, I guess. The pitch. There's a strike call. And also Billy Williams and Roy Campanella participated in the pregame ceremonies, as well as Miss Kelly Cash, Miss America. Sandberg with a count of a ball and a strike. Runner back. In the bottom of the 8th, Toronto batting, Cleveland leading 3-0. Again the throw over there. One ball, 1 strike. A little bit inside. You know, come to think of it, Steve, a lot of big corporations are taking part now in things like this. The Special Olympics being one thing, there are many other forms of diversion. And I think it's a pretty good idea for companies. 2 balls and a strike. Inside, ball 3.
Well, Harry, I don't think there's any better situation than the Special Olympics. To watch those kids compete, and in South Bend this weekend, it's really going to be something.
3 balls and a strike on Sandberg. Here's a perfect pitch for the hit and run. Watch Martinez. Tom Hume on the hill. There he goes. Ball 4. The throw. Ball 4, wasn't it? Sure. What's the matter here? I'm ahead of the game. Rhino didn't know whether they'd called it a ball or not. But he had definitely not called it a strike. And so there are men on first and second.
Lee Ilya not very happy with the call of Larry Poncino. There you look at Claude Osteen, the pitching coach. He feels pretty much the same way.
Here's Durham. Runners at first and second, nobody out. There's another great chance for the Cubs.
Leon is 2 for 4 against Tom Hume lifetime.
Here's the pitch, and it's a curve, a little low. You know, the real reason the Cubs aren't closer to first place, it isn't that they haven't had opportunity after opportunity to win games that they've lost. It's just that they haven't been able to take advantage. Men on second and third, nobody out yesterday couldn't do it. Men on first and third, 2 innings in a row couldn't do it with only 1 out. Bases loaded, nobody out, didn't do anything except score a run on a base on ball. Ball two balls, no strikes on Durham, hitting .281 for the year. 17 homers.
And Lance Parrish out to the mound to have a word with Hume. Tough situation for him, a 2-1 pitch. Leon looking for a fastball, and Hume hasn't been able to get his breaking ball over the plate yet.
Now the pitch. A little wide, ball 3. Well, we just saw a honeymoon couple. Guy and Mary McAleer of Mobile, Alabama are here in Chicago to see the ball game. They're on their honeymoon. Dennis Roney, the uncle to the bride, is President Roney's Ice Cream. Ball 4, the bases are loaded.
High quality.
Jam, nobody out, and here is Andre Dawson.
Perfect situation for Andre because you have a struggling pitcher who can't get the ball over the plate. And you would think that there's going to be a first pitch fastball. Hume trying to aim it to throw a strike. Andre loves first pitch fastballs.
Get ready out there in the street, youngsters out on Waveland Avenue. Bases loaded, nobody out. Strike call. High fastball. A high strike. They're waiting over there for the home run. 0-1 the count. Bases loaded. The pitch. Oh, he ducked out of the way. Hey, don't boo. You know he's not trying to hit him with the bases loaded. That means a run. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. High pop fly out of play. Get well wishes to Jim Brescia at St. Francis Hospital. Good friend of Sharon Panazzo of the Cubs publicity department. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield playing back for a double play. The pitch. He fouled. Boy, he crossfired and threw it sidearm that time. And Andre was fortunate he got a piece of that one. He did not have a very good swing. Caravan of 18 buses from General Binding Corporation in Northbrook has brought about 850 people and their families to watch the game here today. There's a line drive double play. A line drive, Mike Schmidt made a backhanded catch and raced to the bag to double up Davey Martinez. Boy, oh boy.
Good play by Mike Schmidt. He's guarding the line, and this high breaking ball is driven right down his way. He has enough speed and presence of mind to beat Martinez to the bag. Dave caught no man's land. He's got to get back, and no chance to do it.
Well, I mentioned a number of times they've had great opportunities, but sometimes luck is against you. The difference between having a 3-run lead and nobody out and what it is now, 2 out and 2 on, is a matter of inches. Schmidt made a backhanded catch and stepped on the bag. Here's Mumphrey. Strike call. You got to have a little luck. 0-1 the count. 2 men out. And sometimes the harder you try, the more difficult it is to get luck on your side. The pitch. High. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Harry, that's why this becomes one of the real big at-bats in the ball game. You've got the bases loaded, nobody out. You know you're going to score. And it just lets the air out of the balloon of any team if you come away with no runs. So Mumphrey in a big situation to drive one in and get the Cubs emotionally back in this game.
Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Greg and Jeff Locks from Little Rock, Arkansas, here with their parents. The big pitch. That fouls, evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Mulligans are here. Mike, Linda, and Noel from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fouled it out of play. The Lutz brothers are here from Princeton and Terre Haute, Indiana. Deuces are wild. Mumphrey's number 22, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. No score. The pitch. Here it is. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Big group here from the Osceola Masonic Lodge, number 742 in Osceola, Indiana. 3-2, the count. Ball 4. The bases are loaded again. We've had the bases loaded with nobody out, didn't score. Another time now we have the bases loaded with 2 out. And here's Keith Moreland, who still can make it a good inning.
Keith picked up 4 hits yesterday, and what a good time for his 5th hit of the series.
Eat your heart out.
Harry, the baseball game is this way.
We have Kelly Cash, Miss America, in the booth. Here's the pitch. Strike call. We're going to talk to Miss America in a moment. At the end of the inning, which will be quite a while from now, I hope. Here's a pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. What is Johnny Cash? What's his relation to you?
Johnny's my great uncle.
Boy, he's not as good looking as you are. I got to tell you that.
I could have sung like him today.
Your voice is a little husky. I explained you had laryngitis. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, I don't think it's laryngitis. I'll tell you what I think. Here's a pitch. There's a ground ball to short. There's a peg. Force out to end the inning. And so the Cubs fill the bases but cannot score. At the end of 1 inning, no score, 0-0. Here she is, Miss America, Kelly Cash. You know what I started to say about the air conditioning, but we get this stuff and we think it's laryngitis.
That's probably true.
You do sound a little hoarse, huh?
Well, I'm just trying to be real sexy today. I think that's it.
Where do you go from here?
I'm going to be in the Special Olympics tomorrow.
Oh, it's not bad.
That's right. And I was here all day today we had a bubble gum blowing contest with the Super Bubble, and then I go off to New York after that.
Well, it's sure good to see you, and the best of luck.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And anytime you want to come back, Steve said to invite you.
All right. Can I help you out? You need some help?
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Kelly Cash with her lovely mother. You can see where she gets her looks from. And here we are with one out, top of the second inning, as Wilson flat out to left. Here's Chris James, one of the big heroes yesterday for the Phillies. One out, nobody on.
One of the first things Lee Elia did was put Chris James in the lineup every day, and then his natural talent took over. He's a very strong young man. Hit a couple balls out of the ballpark yesterday.
You know, this is what it's all about, Steve, and I don't know how many years this goes on. Young ball players, they play them for a week, they don't hit, they sit them down, then they play them back again, they don't hit. If you've got a young ball player that you know and your organization knows can play, put the guy in the lineup and let him alone. Here's a pitch swung on, a bouncing ball to the shortstop. Noche throws in time. 2 men up, 2 men down. They say that they haven't got confidence yet. Well, how in the world are they going to get confidence unless they do something at the major league level?
Well, it certainly paid dividends with Chris James because he's hitting up over 320. He's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. And as we saw yesterday, Harry, with his catch in left field, he can help you defensively.
Here's Parrish. Here's a veteran ball player. If any young rookie was as bad as Lance Parrish has been behind the plate for the Phillies, they'd have sent him back a long time ago. But Parrish has done things in the major leagues, in the American League, and so the Phillies are committed to go along with him. He's hitting .230, and they just have stolen his pants off. The base runners do. 2 out, nobody on. Swung and a miss.
Well, his hitting instructor, Del Enser, said he looked at films when Parrish was hitting with Detroit, and he's watched him now, and he says he's not doing anything differently. They point to maybe the first-year Philadelphia syndrome, struggling with a new club.
There's a line drive to left field, a base hit. Parrish hitting .230 for the year, singles to left, and that brings up the shortstop, Steve Jeltz. Of course, now here's the other side of the coin. Steve Jeltz hasn't hit much at all, around under 200 all year long, but he's a good defensive ball player, and the Phillies maybe have stuck with him longer than most teams would. He's a regular shortstop. Here's a strike call.
Well, he's a regular shortstop because of plays that ended the first inning. He saved a couple of runs there. That was a difficult play on the force out at second, picking up a tough ground ball, but even trying to make himself a switch hitter, nothing has worked offensively.
Here's a pitch swung and miss. He's on no homers, 6 RBIs, hitting .190 for the year.
And get well wishes to Bertha Howell, recuperating at Augustana Hospital. Big Cub fan looking on today.
0-2 the count. The pitch. Here it is. A little bit high. Boy, am I happy about that scoreboard. Now I can just take one glance up there without having to count up the innings and tell you that Toronto's batting in the bottom of the 9th with Cleveland leading 3-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball to Noche. He's got it. Force out at second base. And we go to the bottom of the second with no score. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Boy, oh boy, the Cubs have the bases loaded, nobody out. Dawson hit a line drive that Schmidt made a great catch on, turned into a double play. Then Mumphrey walked to fill the bases, and Steve Jeltz made a nice play for the fourth side. Here's Jim Sundberg. As a matter of fact, WGN-TV is entertaining all the stations on the network. The pitch. Strike call. Earl and Roberta Samples in Lakeview, Oregon, celebrating a wedding anniversary. Full foul, outside third. Detroit leading the Yankees 8-1 at the end of 6.
Jim Sundberger did a very good job yesterday getting another look here today. Jody Davis showed up a little late for batting practice, and Gene Michael took the bull by the horns, and Sundberg getting a chance to play. He made a couple of good throws yesterday, as well as hitting the ball pretty hard.
0-2 the count. There's a pitch a little high. The Cubs organization, the Cubs wives, will be conducting a food drive of non-perishable goods at Wrigley Field Sunday, August the 16th, when the Cubs meet the Mets. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a fly ball, right center field, deep, way back, going to be caught. Thompson is there. Milt Thompson took care of Sundberg's long drive. There's the old scoreboard. Now look at the difference. And now we're going to show you the new version. Look at that. Isn't it easy to pick up the inning? One out. Here's Paul Noche. That's a good idea. The Cubs and the Cubs wives. A drive on food shelves. The non-perishable goods will benefit the underprivileged throughout the Chicagoland area. Remember, that's Sunday, August the 16th. Here's a high pop foul. The catcher, Parrish. Too gone. Boy, I hope we didn't let Hume really get off the hook in that first inning. Sometimes a pitcher will have an inning like that, get out of it, and shut you out the rest of the way. Hopefully that will not be the case. Here's Lancaster.
Still looking for his first major league hit.
Fouled it out of play. Max Rohrer here from Houston, Texas, celebrating his 10th birthday. And they're also here from Carrollton, Texas. Matthew Howard in the group. Strike 2. Fred Howard was Les Lancaster's high school baseball coach. That's why the Howards are up here. High pop fly. Jeltz is there. 1, 2, 3. At the end of 2 innings, no score. With Steve Stone and Harry Carey back in the ballpark, here's Tom Hume, the pitcher, to lead it off.
And you can see by Juan Samuel, it's a very humid day.
A lot of Philly fans on hand. Where are they sitting, in the bleachers? Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Sarah and Ellen Davis from Knoxville, Tennessee, on hand for the ball game. Ground ball right to Moreland. Nice stab over the first for the out. That ball was well hit. Moreland came up with it. 1 away.
Keith Moreland stabs this ball to his left. It's hit right on the nose by Tom Hume, who takes a pretty good cut. Watch it again. But Keith equal to the task.
You know, a lot of people are under the impression that to play first and third, you don't really need a whole lot of defensive ability. But that, any position, it pays to be good defensively. And especially third and first. The first baseman has to handle the ball more than anybody, and the third baseman has to get hot smashes. That's why they call it the hot corner, where you don't get a chance to hardly see the ball. You have to make the play.
You know, Harry, I had a talk with Pete Rose. He said the same thing. He said everybody said you take your worst defensive player, you put him on first, but he's got to make throws to second, he's got to make throws home, and he's got to handle every ball. He said it's a tough spot if you can't play.
Here's the pitch, and he struck him out. Samuel goes down swinging, and that brings up Milt Thompson.
Looks like a different Les Lancaster today. He's throwing with a lot of confidence. He's getting his breaking ball over the plate, and he's been ahead of the hitters.
Well, his coach, high school coach, Fred Howard, as I mentioned before, is here. You need a little inspiration at times. There's a drive. Caught in the air by the shortstop. Deflected by Lancaster. Ooh, he might be hurt. The way he is reacting. He deflected the line drive to Noche, who caught it in the air. 1-6-3 if you're scoring. And Thompson is retired. We go in the bottom of the third, no score. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Here's this last play. Watch this line drive. Now, there's Lancaster, just gets his glove up. He deflects it over to Noche.
Hit right off the wrist, Harry, the left wrist of Lancaster, and he disappeared into the runway with John Fierro, the trainer. No word yet. It'll probably be sore, but I expect him to stay in the ball game.
Here's Dave Martinez now. Pitches high. Moose Lodge, 372 of Streeter, Illinois. Big group head by Judy DeFree watching the game. You pull the ball foul. There's Lancaster back on the dugout.
Trying to get the feeling back in that hand. That was a rocket.
Joseph Ballatino, mayor of Lockport, watching the ball game. And Karen and Joe Babish are here from Denver, Colorado. The habitués of Brooklands in Denver.
Does that mean they go there?
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. Your sister goes there, doesn't she?
Yes, sir.
2 balls and a strike. High pop foul out of play. 2-2 on Martinez, who led the first inning off with a base hit. The Cubs had the bases loaded with nobody out, but didn't score.
David said, all things being equal, he starts to think about left and left center field. It gives him a little longer to wait on the pitch, so if it's a breaking ball, then he can turn on it. They've been pretty much trying to throw him in under the hands when they go to get him out. Let's see where Hume goes here.
The pitch. Outside and high. All Bud fans, a greeting from Maureen Finn from Boulder, Colorado. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled it out of play. The Wachowskis are here from Round County, Indiana. And so are the Barbers from Sioux City, Iowa.
I thought for sure you were going to say from Seville.
No, I was going to say Frankie De La Franza, my barber.
He did a good job today.
He always does a good job. He's a great barber. He even cut Jim Fry's hair so he doesn't look as if he had a bowl.
Yeah, but Jim gets a discount. He's got half your hair.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4, he walked him. Martinez opens the third with a walk. And here is Sandberg. He also walked in the first inning.
They waited until there was a 3-1 count last time to run Dave Martinez. Let's see if he decides to go on the first pitch here. Dave with the 8 stolen bases, been caught stealing 5 times. The only thing you dislike about running on the first pitch is running into a pitch out.
Hey, is it true at the racetrack last night you lost your shoe?
No, just my horse did.
Here's the pitch a little bit outside and high. Well, the Phillies shoe did all right. Rick shoe. Here's Sandberg. Strike called. Boy, Toronto's been out a while in the bottom of the ninth. They've just been shut out. Cleveland shut out Toronto. There's a drive. If it stays fair, it's curving. It is a foul ball. Boy, did he cream that baby. But foul.
Rhino got out front of that ball. Hume has given up 8 home runs this year. Just curving foul at the last instant.
The Knights of Revelry are here from Chicago. The pitch. High pop fly. Short right field. Gonna be. Hey! Caught by Samuel. Nice play. With his back to the infield.
That was an outstanding play by Juan Samuel. It's doubtful that Wilson would have gotten to the ball. Fortunately for the Phillies, he dives under Samuel. Look at that catch. Well, they avoided a collision, and Samuel made the play. He has really improved defensively since the last time we saw him in Wrigley Field. He plays very well on AstroTurf, but since Lee Ilya has taken over, Ilya helped him out at second base when he was a coach, and for some reason, he's improved his defense.
Here now is Durham. 1 out, 1 on. The pitch. Stop to the first. They resume play at Cincinnati after a 1-hour rain delay. San Francisco's leading 6-0.
Good throw by Parrish. Base runner cannot see the catcher start to throw when he goes behind a left-hand hitter. And he just missed getting Martinez at first.
Now ready. Low. Faithful Cub fan Harold Hickey from Glendale, Arizona, and Tom and Margaret Connolly, also from Glendale, are here. There's a drive. Fair ball. Right field. Martinez around first. He's going to be held up at third. A double for Durham. Right down the first base line. Here's Dawson now.
19th double of the year for Leon Durham. He drives this ball, and he's always hit Tom Hume pretty well. Good play by Wilson, getting to the ball quickly, getting it back into the cutoff man Samuel, and John Vukovic has got to hold Martinez at third base. Despite the fact that Hayes is 6'5", he couldn't get to this one.
Just got over his head, a screamer towards the right field corner. Now here's Dawson. He's rounded the hit with the bases loaded, nobody out, on his hard line drive to Schmidt. But Schmidt turned into a double play, unassisted. 1 ball, no strikes. He swung at the curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hume throws a good sinker and a good curve. He's won 1, lost 2 this year. Higher in run average. The pitch. There's a drive. Way back. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. 3-0 Cubs. $300 donated by True Value Hardware. There's a kid across the street with the souvenir. True Value donates $300 to Cubs Care in the fight against cancer. What a blow. The back row of the left field stands right onto the street.
Home run number 29, RBIs 88, 89, and 90 for Andre Dawson. Hume had first base open. He figured he'd rather go at Dawson than Jerry Mumphrey. He did not walk him, and it cost him 3 runs. A line drive home run to left center field.
You should have seen Hume after he threw the pitch. He knew he had made a mistake. Here's Mumphrey. Fouled it back. Dawson is now 1 run behind Clark in the RBI race. There it is again.
It was a sinker that stayed well above the knee, and Andre hit it out.
Out onto Waveland Avenue, where the youngsters had a souvenir.
Guess you'd call it.
3-0 Cubs.
Let's take another look at the 3-run Hume run. Way back in left center.
You mispronounced home. 2 strikes and nothing. The pitch. One out, 3 runs in. That makes up for that first inning when it should have about 3 more runs batted in. Let's pause here for station identification. Andre Dawson's 29th home run, the 90th run batted in, has put the Cubs into the lead. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dawson is now 1 run away from leading the National League in RBI. One and 2 the pitch. Ground ball, left field base hit. Mumphrey singles to left. There's Moreland. The pitch. A little bit low. A hot, muggy day in Chicago. Pitch outside. The Tigers lead the Yankees 9-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Gary Ward's 2-run homer won the ball game for the Yankees last night. It's 10-1 in favor of the Tigers now in the bottom of the 6th. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Inside and high. And now runners are on first and second as Moreland draws a base on balls. And here's Jim Sundberg.
Claude Osteen coming out to talk with Hume, and that'll mean the bullpen is starting to get to work.
And Yankee pitcher Charlie Hudson was kicked out of the ball game by home plate umpire Ken Kaiser after Hudson threw an inside pitch to Mike Heath, following home runs by Darrell Evans and Chet Lemon. A little feeling up there at Yankee Stadium.
That's a big series. Detroit's knocking at the door, and today they're batting it down. And Wallace Ritchie up and throwing for Philadelphia.
Here's Sundberg. The pitch. He had a cut and he missed. Boy, the Tigers had that game won last night 5-4, only for Gary Ward's 2-run homer. that beat them. So they're going to equalize the series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sundberg the batter. Ground ball, looks like a double play. Out at second and out at first and out of the inning. However, the Cubs on Andre Dawson's 29th homer score 3 runs. We've gone through 3. Dwayne Stats will be joining Steve Stone here in a moment. This is Harry Carey from Wrigley Field. At the end of 3, the Cubs 3, the Phillies nothing.
Cubs are out in front 3-0 as we move into the 4th inning from Wrigley Field with Steve Stone and our producer director Artie Harris. This is Dwayne Stats. Nice to have you with us. Well, we're hopeful that Les Lancaster's all right after taking that line shot. That was quite a ball hit back right at Lancaster to end the 3rd.
Unfortunately for Les, it was off his left hand, so we hope that he's not troubled too much by that because he's got the lead.
And Von Hayes leads off the 4th. First pitch outside, ball 1. It will be Hayes, followed by Schmidt and Wilson. This one too low, 2-0. Milt Thompson hit that liner right back at Lancaster. The ball deflected out to Noche, who made the catch. A 2-ball, no strike count on Von Hayes. He lined to Sandberg his first time, and there's a strike, 2-1. Cubs with 3 runs in the 3rd on the home run by Andre Dawson. Another warm afternoon at Wrigley Field and a great turnout. The pitch in for a strike. 2-2. Les Lancaster making his 6th Cubs start.
And he's using a flesh-colored bandage on his left wrist. Normally that is not allowed. Gene Michael might have consulted the umpire about that. That's where he was hit.
2-2 pitch, ground ball, broke his bat on that ground foul. So Hayes will go back to the rack for another bat with a count 2-2.
You know, it's a different Les Lancaster today, Dwayne. In recent starts, it looked like he was almost tentative. But today he's going right at the hitter. As you look around, a very big crowd here today.
Nice crowd here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs yesterday drew better than 32,000. Matter of fact, just under 33 paid. They'll be in that same neighborhood this afternoon. A 2-2 count here on Von Hayes. Cubs trying to find that winning combination again after winning the first game on this homestand. They've dropped 3 straight. There's a line drive into left field. Mumphrey coming on, and he makes the catch. A sinking line drive, and Mumphrey makes the grab and holds on for the out.
Lancaster getting some pretty good defense behind him today. The pitch is up, and Jerry Mumphrey off at the crack of the bat turns this into a pretty fine catch. Watch it again. Unfortunately, the ball did not come out when the glove hit the ground.
1 gone in the Philly 4th on the catch by Jerry Mumphrey. Here's Mike Schmidt. Lancaster with a pair of strikeouts, including Schmidt to end the Philly 1st. He held up, says Fred Brocklander. Ball 1. Schmidt with 22 home runs. Now Lancaster's had good stuff today. He's throwing the ball hard. This pitch is too low. 2-0.
Anytime you throw a fastball by Mike Schmidt and it's out away from him, you know that you've got something on it. And that's where he struck him out to end the 1st inning. A high fastball away. For the game, Schmidt talking about not hitting any fly balls to left field for the past 30 at-bats. But he's always dangerous.
There's a high pop-up foul ball right side. Durham gives it a look, but it's well out of play. 2 balls and a strike to count. Lancaster making his 14th appearance. He came in with an earned run average of 463. His first start since the 19th of July against the San Francisco Giants. He had a no decision, working 6 innings in a 4-3 loss against the Giants at Candlestick on the 19th. Foul ball again, out of play. That squares the count at 2-2.
San Francisco made a trade that they hope will bolster their bullpen. They got Don Robinson from the Pittsburgh Pirates. They traded Mackie Sasser to Pittsburgh. And they feel that Don Robinson, at 30 years old, despite the fact he's had numerous surgeries, will help him a little bit in the pennant race. And for Pittsburgh, they got a pretty good hitting catcher. And as far as they're concerned, Mackey's back in town.
Here's the 2-2. This one outside and low. 3-2. You really work for those two, don't you?
Well, you have to set them up, you know. Give a little information.
You know, that's an interesting trade. I wonder if there's not something else going on involving that deal. The 3-2 pitch, ground ball, shortstop. Noche up with it, and a throw to first in time to get Mike Schmidt. So Schmidt's retired. Noche to Durham, 2 up, 2 down. You know, LaValliers played extremely well for the Pirates over there.
Well, I think what happens in a deal like that, if they feel that Robinson has a whole lot more value than Sasser at this particular time, or if Robinson comes over and does a pretty good job for San Francisco, there's always future considerations included in a deal like that. So perhaps you'll be seeing a Giant go to the Pirates.
Ben Wilson takes a fastball too close, ball 1. Wilson nothing out of 1 with a line drive to Mumphrey in the second. The pitch down and away. 2-0. With Lancaster coming back here and working the 4th inning after taking that shot off the left wrist in the 3rd inning. The 2-0 pitch is down for ball 3, 3-0. It's a reflection of his makeup, and it's exactly what I think the Cubs would expect of him in this situation. 3-0 pitch. And it's low for ball 4. He slammed that glove into the dugout when he was walking off the infield in the 3rd inning, and I think probably as much as anything he was a little frustrated, thinking that perhaps he might have to leave the game at that point.
Well, he tried to get the glove up, and the ball hit him actually just above the glove. I think that's one of the byproducts of what people talk about when they talk about the lively ball. We're seeing a lot more pitchers hit this year than ever before, a lot more deflections, I think, than ever before. And Danny Cox was lost to St. Louis on a line drive back to him that broke his leg. So it's happened all around baseball. Unfortunately, Lancaster is able to stay in the game.
Here's Chris James. Strong hitter, and there's a fly ball deep to left field, and that ball is gone. Chris James, who hit 2 yesterday, has just hit one out here in the 4th inning to make it 3-2. That's his 11th home run of the year. And since the Phillies put him into left field about 5 weeks ago, this guy has been hitting up a storm for the Phillies.
Everybody talks about the small ballpark at Wrigley and the fact that there are a lot of home runs hit. Yes, that's true, but also pitchers get hurt on bases on balls. The base on balls kept this inning alive and allowed Chris James to hit home run number 11. It's a fastball in a perfect spot, inner half of the plate. 28 and 29 on the RBIs. On the other side of the field, Tom Hume has walked 5 men, so it's also cost him some damage.
Here's Lance Parrish, ground ball left side. Noche hit short up with it, and the throw to first is in plenty of time to retire the side. 2 runs, 1 hit, the home run by James. Nobody left, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 Cubs.
Tony Castle from Castle Buick in Berwyn is here today.
From Wrigley Field, the Cubs leading 3-2 as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. Tom Hume and Les Lancaster, the matchup in this one. Fun at the ballpark here at Wrigley Field. There's been a great homestand from that angle. Not quite the artistic success that the Cubs would like. And a big ready to duck in case a foul ball heads his way.
He's all prepared for that, certainly.
He'll probably pick up the bill as well. I knew you were about to say that, Steve, and I didn't want to see you embarrass yourself.
I promise my fans there'll be no duck jokes today.
So out of friendship, I thought I would bear the brunt. Here's Paul Noce.
And they've been working Paul Noce with a lot of sliders away, and he's still looking fastball. The batting average has started to plummet. He's got to start looking for the breaking ball away and going to right and right center field. Until he does that, he's going to see a steady diet of pitches out away from him.
He fouled out to Parrish his first time. Look at that pitch up and in. Noce thought the ball may have grazed that left sleeve, I think. Ball one. Hume making his 5th start. He has averaged 6 innings per start this year. Pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes. And Lee Elia has to be extremely pleased to get 6 innings on an average out of Tom Hume. This is his 35th appearance overall, so 30 out of the bullpen. Fly ball, shallow center, and Thompson under the ball waiting. And he's got it for the out. 1 out for Les Lancaster.
Talked to Claude Osteen about Tom Hume, and I said, did you put him in the starting rotation out of desperation? And he said, well, Mike Jackson was in the starting rotation, was not doing the job, and they were running out of pitchers, and Hume wasn't doing the job in the bullpen. So they figured he had been a starter before at times during the course of his career with Cincinnati, and they figured they'd try him out, and he's pitched pretty well as a starting pitcher for them.
Now Lancaster swings and pops one into shallow center. The shortstop jolts out. Thompson coming in, making the call, and the catch for the out. So Milt Thompson takes care of both Noce and Lancaster. 2 gone, bases empty, and the Cub 4th for the top of the batting order, David Martinez.
You know, you always wonder if managers know the record while they're managing. And I went to Lee Elia and I said, you've really got your ball club on the right foot. They're playing good, solid baseball. You're 24-17. He said 24-16. So yes, he knows exactly where he is. And there's Lee Elia. Real nice man, and certainly has his ball club hustling and playing good, solid baseball. They're the hottest team in all of baseball. They've won 8 of their last 10 and 5 in a row.
And he's just happy to get another chance to run a ball club. Here's Martinez. David lines it foul up the right side. Well, the Cubs have had some good cuts against Hume today.
I think it's a little frustrating for a man who learned so many lessons the first time he managed, and sit and wonder if he's going to get a chance to put all those lessons back into practice. And so Lee Elia was given an opportunity here in Philadelphia, and he knows that he's got to make the most of it this time. And I think he's doing just that.
1 strike to count. Here's the pitch, and it's down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, there's so many demands beyond just running a ball club, particularly when you're in a major media market, when you're in Chicago or Philadelphia, New York. The pitch is high. The count is 2-1, or Los Angeles for that matter. It becomes complicated not only to figure out who you're going to play and when and who's going to make the club and who's not, but everything else aside from that. Foul ball rolling just back off to the right a little bit.
Well, that's one of the things Lee mentioned when I asked him what he learned in his first stint with the Chicago Cubs, and he said dealing with the media was one of the big things that I learned. He realized he made some mistakes over here. He's a lot more patient now, both with the questions he's asked and also with his own players.
The count is 2-2, and so often that just comes down to people relating to people. A popper, foul ball. Perry starts to give it a chase, but it's going to be out of play. Martinez still alive with a 2-2 count. David up at the 309 mark now, among the top 10 in the league in hitting. He has singled and walked in this game, rode home along with Leon Durham on Andre Dawson's 29th home run of the year. That came in the 3rd. Now the 2-2 just missing. So full count. Hume was really at odds with the plate umpire in the first inning over a number of balls and strikes. called or not called, as the case may be. Now he's gone 3-2 to Martinez and walks him for the second time. So Martinez reaches base for the third straight time this afternoon. A walk with 2 gone, bringing Ryne Sandberg to the plate.
Tom Hume should feel very fortunate that he's been able to escape 6 walks here so far. Normally when you do that, there's 5 or 6 runs up on the board. He finds himself just trailing by 1.
Here's Ryne Sandberg. Rhino has walked and popped to the second baseman. Cubs leading by a run, 3-2. They've out-hit the Phillies 4-3. The pitch too low.
I'm not sure why they haven't tried to run a little more against Lance Parrish. I know he's throwing the ball better at this point of the year than we saw him last, but he's still having some difficulties in that department. Let's see if Dave Martinez tries to steal his 9th base.
1-0 pitch. Sandberg takes one too low. So the count is 2-0. Martinez at first with the walk. Hume delivers. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. 2-1. You'd like to see Durham get a chance to swing the bat in the 4th inning with somebody on base. He has, throughout his career, hit extremely well against Tom Hume. The pitch inside. So it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Sandberg. No action in the Philly bullpen. Wally Ritchie was up in the last inning. The pitch, ball 4 inside, and Durham will get a chance to swing the bat here in the 4th inning. 7 walks given up by Hume. Sandberg to first, Martinez to second. Durham has walked and doubled in this game, giving him 11 of 19 lifetime against Tom Hume.
And Wally Ritchie is getting up one more time, and now Bon Hayes comes over to talk with Tom Hume.
Well, the Philly bullpen got a workout yesterday. They utilized 5 pitchers total, following Gross, Jackson, Calhoun, Tekulve, and Bedrosian. Ritchie up for the second time today in the bullpen, and Leon Durham faces Tom Hume. The pitch is away, ball 1. Durham got the head of the bat out there in the 3rd inning and lined a double up the right field line. His 19th double this year. 1-0 pitch, down and in. 2-0 the count. Hume with a little stroll around the mound while Durham waits at the plate. Tom Hume, 34 years old.
And if he needs some incentive to throw a strike, all he has to do is look in the on-deck circle, and that might be it for him.
Yep, Lee Ely is on his way to the mound. Hume has fallen behind Durham, a fellow who has really hit him hard through the years. And we'll see what Lee Elia has on his mind here. 2 men on with 2 men out. Elia taking a little extra time as he gets to the mound. Meanwhile, Gene Michael sitting in the Cub dugout, hoping the Cubs can expand this 1-run lead. Elia decides to stay with the right-hander Hume. Andre Dawson on deck. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. And a strike is called. 2-1. Cubs have a lot of the right conditions going here. Durham at the plate. He's hit well against Hume. He's ahead in the count. He has Dawson hitting behind him. The pitch. He swings and rolls it foul down the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hume slowing the pace, in trouble here in the 4th inning on a hot afternoon. Here's the 2-2. Durham swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep right field. Wilson back on the track. He'll have room. And he makes the catch to retire the side. Durham gave it a ride, but not deep enough. For the Cubs, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. Through 4. The Cubs 3 and the Phillies 2.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has a right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited.
Steve Jeltz leading off the 5th. 1 strike the count. Lancaster comes back with the next one and misses up and in, so the count is a ball and a strike. 3-2 the score. The Cubs on top. A 3-run home run in the bottom of the 3rd by Andre Dawson. There's a looping liner over Nochi's head into left center field for a base hit. Ball gets by Mumphrey, picked up by Martinez, and Jeltz is on his way to second. He'll make it standing up. He didn't hit the ball all that hard. A soft liner. Mumphrey had a little tough time getting over there, and the ball got by him. And Martinez had to make the pickup on it.
We don't know yet if they're going to give him a single or double. Probably a 2-base hit on this as the ball gets by Mumphrey. So the Phillies start out the 5th inning in pretty good shape. Now Hume swings the bat pretty well. So Lee has got a decision. Does he want him to bunt the ball right at Keith Moreland, or will he give him a shot to swing away?
There's 3 hits for the year. And there's a bunt, a little hard. Lancaster has a play at 3rd. Out there. Lancaster to Moreland, who put the tag on Jeltz. So Hume is still without a sacrifice this year.
Fielder's choice, 1-5.
He reaches on a fielder's choice, 1-5.
Ball's bunted too hard. It's up and in. A tough ball to bunt because he's backing away from the play. And Jeltz is out easily at 3rd base. Watch it again. We'll look at it from the runner's perspective. And it doesn't look too good.
And Juan Samuel steps in for the Phillies. Samuel has grounded to short and has struck out swinging. Right-handed batter. And his career high in home runs this year with 20. He swings and misses, strike 1. Phillies with the pitcher Hume at first. That can't be too pleasant for Hume after working the first 4 innings and throwing a lot of pitches on a hot afternoon. Now he has to run the bases.
And he's not going to use his jacket. A little too much humidity.
The pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2.
The only way that Samuel's going to hit a breaking ball is if Lancaster hangs it. Anything off speed, anything breaking away from him, he has a tremendous amount of difficulty hitting. But you make a mistake, and this little guy's as strong as anybody.
Here's the pitch. He swings and misses. He's out on strikes for the 2nd time today. 2nd out in the 5th, and that brings up Milt Thompson.
Strikeout number 98 for Juan Samuel. A good slider, low and away off the plate. And it was a tough at bat.
Yep. Here's Milt Thompson. Ground ball 3rd. Moreland up with it, and the throw to Durham's in time, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. A man left on base, and we go into the bottom of the 5th with the Cubs leading 3-2. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 3-2 ball game. We have our Cub affiliates in this weekend. Joe Young, the vice president and general manager of WXIN in Indianapolis has stopped by the booth. Joe, good to see you. You fellas having a heck of a time here this weekend.
We're excited to be up here. We're excited to be back with the Cubs.
You signed a multi-year deal.
That's right. We signed a deal this year for 3 years for the Cubs, and we're very excited to be a Cubs affiliate again.
All right, Joe. Keep cool this afternoon.
We're going to try.
All right. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
All right. Thanks.
Andre Dawson will lead it off for the Cubs. All those folks in town having a heck of a time, enjoying Cub baseball at Wrigley Field. It's nice to have all the affiliates with us. Dawson hit the 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Andre now with 29 home runs and 90 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. It's too high. Ball 1.
When you've already walked 7 men and one of the guys that you haven't walked but has a 3-run homer gets up, a little more difficult to throw strikes to him.
There's a wave and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Comes with 3 runs, 4 hits. The Phillies have 4 hits and 2 runs. Dawson sends one deep to left center field. James back, and he'll watch this one sail out. Dawson has hit his 2nd home run of the day, a tremendous blast over the back fence, and the Cubs now lead 4-2. Andre Dawson's 30th home run of the year. There was little question about that one.
And the wind is blowing perfectly for him, but neither home run needed any help from the wind today. Andre Dawson has crushed a couple of long drives. And now a visit to the mound, and this could be it for Tom Hume.
Dawson's 30th home run. He has 91 runs batted in. True Value Hardware happily donates $100 to Cubs Care Charities and to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in the fight against cancer. On the home run by Andre Dawson. Dawson with a curtain call. That's going to be all for Tom Hume. And we'll be back with more in a moment. Phillies bring on a left-hander, Wally Ritchie, and let's take another look at the home run by Andre Dawson. That knocked out Tom Hume.
And it was a slider that didn't get far enough away from Andre Dawson as he took it against the back screen, and now Wallace Ritchie comes into the ball game. It's been an up and down year as you look at Andre Dawson. Ritchie's contract was originally purchased from Maine in AAA on May 1st. Then the Phillies sent him back on June 16th, only to recall him on June 27th. He was 3-1 with a 2.05 ERA in AAA, and in his last 12 games with the Phillies, he has a 1.38 ERA. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 13 innings.
So Andre Dawson with 2 home runs this afternoon. Dawson now with 32 lifetime home runs against the Philadelphia Phillies. This is the 5th time this year that he has hit 2 home runs in a game. And here is Jerry Mumphrey. The pitch in for a strike. 17 home runs for the Cubs against Philly pitching for the year. Four innings plus for Tom Hume. The pitch inside. 1-1 now. The Cubs score 4 runs on 5 hits off Hume. He did not strike out anyone and walked 7. The pitch. It's too low. 2-1. You know, of the 7 walks, only 1 scored. But he made a lot of pitches on a hot afternoon, walking 7. And Andre Dawson has hit 2 out against him. There's a fly ball, right center field. Wilson and Thompson in the neighborhood, and Glenn Wilson, the right fielder, makes the catch for the out.
That was only the 4th at bat from the right side all year long for Jerry Mumphrey.
And here is Keith Moreland. Moreland 0 for 1 with a base on balls. Dawson has homered off Carmen, Gross, and now 2 off Hume.
Warm day today in the bleachers.
The pitch to Moreland, too low, ball 1. And the attire most appropriate. Moreland with a career high 19 home runs. The pitch is a strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. There's the left-hander Ritchie. This one a little low. 2 balls and a strike. Ritchie has the sign. Now the pitch. And it's popped up, foul ball. Backing out of play, so the count is 2-2. Ritchie's parents must have been fans of Leave It to Beaver and the Dick Van Dyke Show.
And why is that?
Because his name is Wally Ritchie.
Oh.
The son's on those 2 shows.
Could have been Lionel.
But he's too old for that. The 2-2. There's a drive hit deep to left. James goes back, and this one's going to be off the wall. Moreland around first, digging for 2, and the throw will not be in time, and matter of fact is not even in the neighborhood. Samuel went down about halfway between second and third to take the throw from James as Keith Moreland picks up his 14th double.
James played this ball well, and if he throws it on the mark, it's going to be a close play at second base. But as he wheels around, the throw is off target, and Keith Moreland hit a bullet off the wall in left.
So Moreland is 1 for 2 this afternoon. That gives him 11 out of his last 23 over his last 6 games, a 6-game hitting streak. Here's Jim Sundberg. Sundberg nothing out of 2 today. 7 out of 16 for the year against the Phillies, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Well, the Tigers have beaten the New York Yankees 10-5. The Yankees had won 5 in a row. This pitch is high, 2-0. Tanana wins it. He is 11-7. Rasmussen, the loser, 8-5. Evans and Lemon hit back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning. Now they're going to go ahead and walk Sundberg. And Charlie Hudson, who close to the head of the following hitter and was ejected from the ball game. At the time, it was a 10-1 contest. It ended 10-5. The Tigers defeating the New York Yankees. They had 55,000 plus at Yankee Stadium for that game. Minnesota at Oakland through 5, 3-0 Oakland out in front of that one. And in the other American League game, Cleveland shut out Toronto 3-0. An intentional walk to Jim Sundberg. Runners at first and second, 1 out for Paul Noce. Cincinnati with a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now at the end of 6, the Reds trail the San Francisco Giants 7-2. Kurt Stillwell hit a home run in the 6th. The solo home run is 4th of the year for Cincinnati. Starting the day, Cincinnati had a 3-game lead on the Giants in the West. Meanwhile, in the American League East, the Tigers back to within 2 games of the Yankees. Toronto 2.5 back. Here's Noce. And the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1.
Not much speed on the bases for the Cubs. The best arm in the outfield belongs to Glenn Wilson, who has 14 assists this year to lead the National League, perennially among the leaders in that department.
Now the 0-1 delivery. A wave and a miss on a pitch down and in. So Noche continues to have a tough time of it at the plate. He's behind on the count, 2 strikes. All 0 for 2 in this game. There's a pitch a little close, moving away from the plate, and the count is 1-2. Noche was hitting .295 at Iowa when he came up on the 1st of June. Right now hitting .240 for the Cubs. 1-2 pitch. He is out on strikes. He was a little uncertain, took the pitch, and it was in there. And that's the first strikeout for Philly pitching.
I think that at bat shows you when a young man loses his confidence just exactly what happens. You start swinging at balls out of the strike zone and taking pitches that you're not quite sure of. And before you know it, you get called out on strikes. He swung at 2 bad pitches, took a good one, and that was it for that at bat.
Well, after swinging at 2 bad pitches, you're so conscious of trying to avoid that. Now Lancaster waves and misses, strike 1. And you wind up with that split second of indecision, and that cost Noche the strikeout here in the 5th inning. One strike the count. Now the delivery. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Lancaster nothing out of 17 for the year. Here's the pitch. Inside, snap throw back to second, and Moreland is back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
That's really a dangerous play with a pitcher up who hasn't had a hit all year. You run the risk of throwing the ball into center field. No need for it because Keith Moreland certainly isn't going anywhere at second.
The pitch. There's a line drive into left field, and James makes the catch to retire the side. Lancaster a line drive. Cubs settle for 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2, and at the end of 5, the Cubs are on top 4-2. On to the 6th inning. The Cubs about hit the Phillies by 2 and lead 4-2 with Steve Stone and Artie Harris, Jack Rosenberg, and Joe Corneo in the booth. This is Dwayne Statz. Nice to have you with us this afternoon in the middle game of this 3-game series between the Cubs and the Phillies. Quite a pitching matchup tomorrow. Rick Sutcliffe scheduled to pitch for the Cubs against Philly left-hander Shane Raleigh. Sutcliffe goes into the matchup tomorrow with a record of 15-4, and Raleigh is 13-5. Here's Von Hayes to open the 6th inning. Hayes, Schmidt, and then Wilson. The pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Hayes lined to second in the 1st inning and lined to left on a fine catch by Jerry Mumphrey in the 4th. There's a pop foul backing out of play, and the count is 1-1. Send along birthday wishes to Danielle Mazzala, a young Cub fan.
We've seen Von Hayes adjust his stance to whoever's on the mound. Yesterday he was way up in front of the batter's box. Today the foot is back a little bit against Lancaster, who's got that pretty good fastball.
You know, he probably does that more than any hitter we've noticed in the National League. There's a pitch high and outside, 2-1. Some hitters don't like to do that at all. And I think it's interesting that a lot of hitters don't, because when you have an off-speed pitcher, it makes a little sense to adjust your way up. The 2-1 pitch, and it's high and outside, and Hayes does exactly that.
Well, he also crouches over some. You know, he's 6'5", and if he stands straight up, he has an enormous strike zone. He feels by crouching down some, he's going to lower that strike zone and see some pitches he can handle right around belt high.
3-1 pitch, a big chop up the first base side foul to run the count to 3-2.
It's interesting looking at his style and then contrasting it with Chris James. Del Unser, the hitting instructor, said about James, he was crouching down in spring training. We got him to stand up a little straighter. Now he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So it's a matter of comfort, a matter of what works for you. what works for Hayes does not obviously work for Chris James.
This pitch is too low for ball 4. So Von Hayes opens the 6th inning by drawing a walk, the second issued by Les Lancaster. And Mike Schmidt will be the hitter. You hate to walk anybody in front of Schmidt. The walk for Hayes is 84th.
And that's one of the reasons why, hitting below 300, he still has an on-base percentage of .436. That's the highest on the Philly ball club. So Hayes has done his part this year. 12 stolen bases, 6 caught stealings.
He's second in the league in walks behind Jack Clark, who has 103. There's the story on Hayes in the base running department. Schmidt with a line drive through the left side, base hit. Hayes will stop at second. So Mike Schmidt picks up his first hit of the day, his second hit of the series.
Les Lancaster essentially is a 2-pitch pitcher. He throws a fastball, he throws a slider, does not throw many straight changes. And with a 2-pitch pitcher, you have to have extraordinary stuff if you're going to start, because you're facing hitters 3 and 4 times and you have to give them a different look. So I'm sure Herm Starrett is a little concerned about pitch selection at this point, and he's going out there to have a talk with his youngster.
Wilson walked in the 4th and scored on the Chris James home run after lining out to left his first time.
He's raised his batting average over 20 points the last month, so he's been hot and he uses the whole field.
The pitch is a strike on the inside corner. So Lancaster is out in front of Glenn Wilson, 0-2.
You can strike him out low and away off the plate with a breaking ball. He will swing at a lot of bad pitches, especially when the pitcher's ahead of him, and fortunately Lancaster is in that position.
There's a ball down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walk to Hayes, the base hit by Schmidt. Cubs leading 4-2 as we play in the top of the 6th inning. Bouncing ball right side, foul, picked up by Del Unser. So the count is still 1-2. Wilson protecting the plate on that last pitch. Down 1-2 on the count. The 1-2 delivery, foul ball again to the right side. The Cubs would like to get a nice long stint out of Lancaster. Well, the bullpen has really been worked, and the Phillies utilized 4 men out of their bullpen yesterday. And when you start going to that bullpen and then middle relief more than you want to, things very seldom get any better with each passing day. The 1-2 pitch. Foul ball again, right side.
Well, Dwayne, this is the time of year when you look around the league, you'll see what managers utilize their bullpen the best, because some guys who've gone to the bullpen a lot during May, June, and July are going to pay the price in August and September. I think the real good managers are the guys who use their bullpen, manipulate the guys to keep everybody as fresh as possible. You get up into the 60s in appearances, and all of a sudden that fastball's a little slower, the curveball doesn't break as much, and now you're really at the mercy of the hitter.
1-2, foul ball, straight back. So Wilson's hanging tough against Les Lancaster.
And I think when you talk about real good managers around the National League, the 2 names that pop up are Buck Rogers and Whitey Herzog. Both of them manipulate their bullpens well. They seem to always have a fresh man in there, and I think it's going to pay dividends for them as we come down the stretch.
Here's the 1-2 pitch into the dirt. Good stop there by Jim Sundberg on the pickup, and the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That is the one pitch that Les Lancaster is going to have to work on if he's going to be successful. Right now he's slowing down his motion to throw the changeup, and he's tipping it off to the hitter.
2-2 pitch, swung on, fly ball, right field, sending Dawson back on the run, but he'll be there to make the catch. The tag by Hayes, he's on his way to third, and the throw's into Noche at second. So Wilson battled for that fly ball into right center field as Dawson made the catch. Schmidt remaining at first with Hayes at third. 2 on 1 out. Chris James will be the hitter, and we'll pause for station identification.
This is WGN Television, Channel 9, Chicago.
Here's a look at Chris James. He homered in the 4th inning. His 11th home run of the year. He started 35 games in left field. He took over on an everyday basis out there on the 23rd of June. And he has been tearing it up at the plate. Two men on, 1 out. The pitch in there for a strike.
We had a picture of Mike Schmidt, and he was stretching out his legs. It's not because he's a great base stealer, because I think those days are a little behind him. He hasn't stolen a base this year. But he knows he's got to break up 2 because it's going to get the Phillies a run if he can break up 2 on a ground ball.
A 1-strike count on James out of Rusk, Texas. Born in Rusk. Went to high school in Houston, and the pitch is in there for a strike. 0-2. You were comparing his build with Von Hayes. Hayes long and lean. The runner at third, and James a little smaller, but he has a muscular build. Schmidt back in at first.
I think he's built a lot like most of the guys that I've seen that have been reared in Rusk.
Two strikes the count. They're tough.
He comes from a football family. His brother plays for the Patriots.
This one is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They had some physical problems. He's recuperated from the broken ankle. Broke a bone in that left ankle last May. The 1-2 pitch. A little bit close. That evens the count.
This is how Jim Sundberg take control. He put down 1 finger, meaning the fastball. He gave the sign to throw it inside. Gave him the fist to get it in there. Make sure you throw it, so if he does get a swing, he's going to jam him. And Lancaster did get it inside, but just missed.
A 2 ball, 2 strike count. Parrish is on deck. Now the pitch to James. And he got him on a pitch down and in. He got James to chase it. And that's the 4th strikeout for Les Lancaster. Big strikeout here in the 6th for the Cub right-hander.
James helps him out by swinging at a bad ball down and out of the strike zone. And Lancaster made the pitch when he had to.
2 gone with 2 men on, and Lance Parrish is the hitter. Parrish 1 out of 2. Another move to first, and Schmidt's back in. Well, the Phillies have some strong fellows on this team. When you look at Chris James and Lance Parrish.
And Parrish is about the strongest of any of them. He really hits the weights hard.
A pitch in there for a strike. He turned down a football scholarship at UCLA. Signed on with the Tigers. There is Frank DiPino in the Cub bullpen. He had 22 home runs last year for Detroit. The pitch is inside, ball 1. He had 22 home runs in 91 games for the Tigers last year. Parrish waiting. Lancaster delivers. Missing too low this time.
The sitting instructor Del Unser feels that he might be tying himself up too much by the weight program. You take a look at his arms. This man works out quite heavy. He said he doesn't mind guys working with weights in the wintertime to get themselves as strong as possible, but during the season, he doesn't like to see his hitters tying themselves up. He'd just as soon they go on a lightweight program, if a weight program at all, and make sure that they maintain all that flexibility and that bat speed you need to bring the head of the bat through the strike zone.
And that's a return to the conventional thinking in baseball just a few years ago.
And those are the youngsters who will represent the area in the Special Olympics. Quite a thrill for them.
There's a high foul down the left side. Mumphrey starts to chase it, but it's out of play, and the count is 2-2. Top of the 6th inning with the Cubs leading. Cubs scored 3 in the 3rd on a home run by Andre Dawson. Chris James 2-run home run in the 4th, accounting for both Philly runs, and then Dawson opened the Cub 5th with another home run to make it 4-2, and that's how we stand in the top of the 6th inning. Michael Jackson loosening for the Phillies in the bullpen up the right field side. A 2-2 count to Lance Parrish, and a balk has been called on Lancaster, forcing home Von Hayes. The 6th balk charged to Les Lancaster this year. And the
26th balk charged to the Cubs, and you figure when Les goes to the mound, you usually see one of these, but this is particularly costly. Let's watch it again. It was called by Larry Poncino. And I can't really tell there exactly what he did.
Here's the 2-2 to Parrish. He fouls it back. Now the balk forces home a run and makes it a 4-3 ball game. Let's see if we take another look at that. See if we can pick it up.
Oh, that was it right there. Yeah, he did start twice.
The count to Parrish is 2-2. And he pops it into shallow left. Noche out. Mumphrey in. Noche called off the play by Mumphrey as Jerry Mumphrey makes the catch to retire the side. A run on 1 hit and a man left. We go on to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 4-3 ball game. Cubs on top. On to the Cubs 6th. Cubs leading 4-3. Andre Dawson 4 and the Phillies 3. Dawson a 3-run home run in the 3rd and a solo home run in the 5th inning. And in the 6th it will be Martinez, Sandberg, and Durham against Wally Ritchie. Ron Hayes picking up the balk as well. Yep. And he carried the 3rd Philly run home.
Might have a future as an umpire before it's over.
Martinez takes a breaking ball for a strike.
And Kent Tekulve is up and throwing.
Martinez has been on base 3 straight times today with a single and 2 bases on balls. Pitch too high. 1-1. There's the veteran right-hander, Kent Tekulve.
Threw a couple of innings yesterday. Picked up the win. Giving up no runs on 3 hits.
The pitch down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Hume for 4 innings plus, charged with all 4 Cub runs on 5 hits and 7 walks. High popper, back of 3rd. Schmidt chasing it and will not have a play. Schmidt was down in that same vicinity on a pop foul yesterday and ran into the tarp. I think he got to the tarp yesterday before he thought he was going to. Cut ball out of his reach, and so the count to Martinez is 2-2.
You know, Dave Martinez is thinking about this as a big at bat. Not only is his ball club up only 1 run, but he's facing a left-hander for one of the few times this year. You hate to get pigeonholed as a part-time player, and if he shows his manager he can hit left-handers, it might bode well for his future.
A wave and a miss. Martinez out on strikes. 2nd strikeout for Ritchie, and the 1st Cub retired in the 6th inning. Ritchie took over in the 5th to face Mumphrey after Dawson had hit the home run. And here's Sandberg 0 for 1 with a pair of bases on balls.
And I think Lee Elia is thinking ahead. If somebody does get on base, he does not want Wally Ritchie to face Andre Dawson. He will go to the bullpen and bring in Kent Tekulve. So let's see if the Cubs can get somebody on and bring that about.
Ritchie's pitch to Sandberg, and there's a drive into left center field. Thompson over there calling for it. He puts it away for the second out. Milt Thompson handles the fly ball by Sandberg. 2 up, 2 down for the Bull, Leon Durham. Durham has walked and doubled, hit the ball to the warning track in right field in the 4th inning. And Wilson made the catch on that ball to end the 4th. The pitch in there for a strike. Leon Durham, 30 years old now. The 0-1 pitch. There's a strike. So Ritchie throwing strikes here in relief of Tom Hume. He walked Sundberg intentionally in the 5th inning after giving up the double off the left field wall to Keith Moreland. But then struck out Noche and has struck out Martinez here in the 6th. Ahead of Durham. The 0-2 low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 1:20 first pitch tomorrow for the Cubs. Sutcliffe against Raleigh.
What a matchup that's going to be.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Durham is out on strikes to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. We've gone through 6. Harry's coming back, and the Cubs are on top 4-3.
With Steve Stone, Harry Caray back in Wrigley Field and going to the top of the 7th. Leading it off will be Steve Jeltz.
Get the feeling, Harry, the offense is tread water and wait for Andre.
That's it. He's accounted for all 4 runs today. Jeltz has had a double, 1 out of 2. There's ball too high. Make it 3 now. 3 balls, no strikes. DePino getting ready in the bullpen.
I think that Gene Michael might feel that Lancaster's tiring a bit. Been a long time since he's gone this long.
Ball 4, he walked him. The tying run is on, nobody out. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Wallace Ritchie, who pitched very well, a left-hander for the Phillies.
Ron Renicky, I believe, is coming up to pinch hit.
In his 2 innings, he allowed only 1 hit, no runs, walked 1 out intentionally, and fanned 3.
There's a look at Ron Renicky, the switch hitter. Left-handed hitting just .080. Right-handed hitting .368. And he'll come into the game to hit left-handed.
2 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
Got to be careful. You might be looking at a bunt situation here.
3 strikeouts.
I think they'll hit away. They play to win on the road. However, Moreland is in close. Renicky, a switch hitter. And now the pitch. Over to first instead. Boy, that balk run last inning really hurt. 4-3 now. Wide outside, ball 1.
Well, Harry, it makes it a completely different ball game because you have to worry about wild pitches a little bit more. You have to worry about stolen bases a little bit more when you're leading by only a run.
1 ball, no strikes. On Renicky. Quick throw over there.
Jeltz is not very fast. He's only stolen 1 base this year, been caught stealing 1 time.
Now the pitch. Again, the throw over there. Twins scored 2 in the 8th to take the lead at Oakland 2-1. Strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know, I think the scoreboard might have the wrong score. They got Oakland leading with 2 in the 4th on our ticker, inning by inning. It said Oakland nothing in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low ball 2. A key moment in this ball game. Top of the 7th. Cubs leading by a run. 4-3. Again he throws over there. The Twins beat the A's last night 5-3. They scored 2 in the 8th inning to take the lead today, 2-1. It's about time. Mark McGuire hit one. 2 balls and a strike. Outside, ball 3. And Lancaster, it's a hot, muggy day. 3 balls and a strike. Renicky looking at Jimmy Davenport, the third base coach. Strike 2 call. And now I imagine Jolts will be going on this pitch. 3-2, nobody out. Renicky doesn't strike out too much.
And with a man who is not possessed with great speed on base, you can strike him out and throw him out if he can get the ball by Renicky.
3-2. Again he throws over the first. The 5 o'clock shadow is over that third base section. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, he walked it. And Renicky is on. Jeltz is on. Nobody is out. And the top of the batting order coming up. And Starrett comes out, which might indicate they're not going to change pitchers.
Well, they'd love to see Les Lancaster retire Samuel because they have the 2 left-handers due up next. But with Rick Shue on the bench, if you go to Frank DePino, you're not going to see Thompson, you'll see Shue. So a decision for Gene Michael right now. Herm Starrett on the mound talking with Lancaster, who is a very tired young man on the mound.
Something wrong with your tongue, Shue? Somehow it sounds like you just made a mistake in pronunciation. There's Gene Michael talking with John Vukovich. Now let's see, this is a lightning fast man. When he bunts, he's got a chance to beat it out. He's a long ball hitter too. When he swings, he's liable to hit the ball out of the park.
But he's also fanned 98 times this year, including twice today.
There's the pitch. Swung and he missed. That's what worries me. Nobody ever strikes out all the time.
Well, if he keeps throwing and breaking balls away and keeps him down, he's going to strike him out again.
Well, they let him swing at the first pitch. Let's see what they do now. 0-1 the count.
If he's a decent bunter, Harry, this is a good time for it.
He's going to swing and he misses. 0-2. Lead is disdaining the sacrifice. He's only a run behind. Two now. Jeltz a leadoff second. Renicky off first. Low ball. 1-2 the count. We're in the 7th. The Giants beat the Reds 7-3 again. Grab ball, looks like a double play. They're going to throw the third, and he's out at third base on the force play. Noche might have made a smart play there because with Samuel throwing, it's doubtful whether he would have had a double play.
I don't think you can turn two on this ball. It's a chopper in the infield, and all the momentum of Paul Noce is going toward third base. So he's got a choice and decides to go to third, and they cut down the lead man. Watch it again, and it is a good play because a sacrifice fly now doesn't do any damage.
Here is Milt Thompson. He's hit the ball hard today. A base hit, another time a line drive off the pitcher's hand to the shortstop. A high pop fly. Left field is going to be caught. Mumphrey. 2 men out. That's a big out to get. And here's Hayes looking for his first hit in the series. 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 4, 0 for 2 today.
And a great pitch to Milt Thompson, a fastball in on the hands. And if you're a manager, you're sitting on the bench with a left-hander in the bullpen and a tough left-hand hitter up. But let's see what Gene Michael does, and now he's made his decision.
Yep, new pitcher's going to be brought in here. We'll tell you more about him following this. We'll keep it here instead. It's going to be DePino brought in to face Von Hayes. 2 men are out. Cubs leading by a run, 4-3. That was a mighty big out and a mighty big play on Samuel.
And I think that Les Lancaster scored a lot of points for himself today. He battled out there, took a line drive off his wrist, stayed in the ball game. He's still in a position to win this one, but he showed his manager that he can get out of some pretty tricky situations. He got out of a tough jam last inning. He's 2/3 of the way out of a pretty big jam here in the 7th. And so Frank DePino comes into the ball game with a 1-2 record, a .340 earned run average, 38th appearance. He's got a save, 39 2/3 innings, 38 hits, 15 earned runs on 4 homers. He's walked 17, he's struck out 33. And he's got a man that the Cubs have completely handcuffed in this series. Von Hayes due up.
Lancaster pitched 6 2/3 innings. The responsibility for the 2 men on base belongs to him. He allowed 5 hits. He walked 4, he fanned 4. A fine performance by the rookie right-hander. And now it's up to veteran Frank DePino. DePino has run into a streak, Steve, where he has trouble getting out the first or second man he faces. Right now, you don't have to worry about the second man. The guy you got to worry about with 2 out is the first man he faces, the left-hand hitter, Von Hayes.
And the Cubs keep a stat, and that's the reliever's first batter faced and how many times he reached base. And we'll take you around. Lee Smith, 12 out of 41. Eddie Lynch, 11 times out of 36. Ron Davis, 5 out of 20. Scott Sanderson, just 2 out of 10. And Frank DePino has had the first batter reach base 8 out of 37 times. And this is a big one for him, trying to protect the game for Les Lancaster.
I understand a young man by the name of Rich Berkey, who's 41 years old, caught Andre Dawson's 3-run homer. He's already had about 130 homers hit over the wall on the Waveland Avenue. Here we go, a key moment. 2 out, 2 on. Hayes, the hitter. Strike call. Hayes walked and scored on the balk in the 6th, you remember. 0-1 the count. Inside. Mike Schmidt is next. They got a couple of right-handers, including Lee Smith, ready for that emergency. Ed Lynch and Lee Smith are working in the bullpen. 1-1. Boy, he jammed him with a fastball and he fouls it out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 7th. Cubs lead by a run. Now the pitch. Swung on a little looper to Noche to retire the side. Hayes pops to Noche. No runs, no hits. No errors, 2 left. We go now into the bottom of the 7th. The score, Cubs 4, Phillies 3. All right, everybody, let me hear you. All 1. Up 2, up 3. Take me up to the ball game. Take me up to the crowd. Buy me something. Back over its root. Root for the car. First pitch to Dawson. Strike call.
Jackson had some problems yesterday. Appeared in the ball game but didn't retire anybody. Gave up a run on 1 hit. Struck out 1 and he reached on a wild pitch.
Here's the pitch. Whoa, he had a cut. 2 strikes and nothing.
Jackson has started 7 games this year. They gave him a look in the starting rotation, but he just wasn't ready to handle it yet, so they're trying to ease him into the major leagues in the bullpen. Just a hard-throwing youngster with a good hard slider.
I tell you, that left-hander they used before Jackson, Ritchie, looked very good. The pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jackson's had 2 home runs, accounted for all 4 runs. The only time he was retired, he hit into an unassisted double play. There's a drive in the left field going back to the wall. It might be hit it! A home run! Holy cow! His 31st home run! His 3rd of the game! True Bible Hardware ought to donate $1,000 for a 3-home run day. Look at him! The crowd is wild! Holy cow! 3 home runs in a row! Look at Andre! He looks exhausted! What a day! Hey, here he comes and takes his bow! What a demonstration by this standing room only crowd!
Finally, he cracks a smile, Harry.
5-3 now. Here's Mumphrey, a ground ball. He's on at first. 1 away.
That was home run number 3.
Hey, listen, Arnie. Here's a home run again. A high curveball, a slider.
And tread water and wait for Andre. That's the new Cub offense, because that's what's happened all day today. His 3rd home
The
run.
last time Dawson hit 3 home runs in a game was at Wrigley Field, but it was against the Cubs while he played for Montreal. Today he has hit 3 home runs for the Cubs. And he has increased his lead in the National League. That ties him for the league lead now.
Last Cub to hit 3 home runs in a game, Dave Kingman in 1979.
That's a long time ago.
Andre is the 4th National League player and 3 home runs in a game this season. Tim Wallace was the most recent.
He has taken over the league now in RBIs. He now has
92.
5 runs. He has 92 RBIs. Clark has 91. He has taken over the league leadership. There's a line drive hit to Samuel by Moreland. This is Dawson 5, the Phillies 3. Boy, oh boy, I wonder what clubs like the Dodgers above all the money they have coming in, could have signed both Raines and Dawson. Didn't sign either one. Everybody in either league could have signed Dawson. Finally, he more or less forced the Cubs to sign him by offering a blank contract. I think the way the story goes, that the Cubs filled out the financial end of it. What a year he's having. Here's Sundberg. 1 ball, 1 strike. 31 home runs. 92 RBI. There's a pitch fouled out of play. And 5. The wind brings this ball back into play, and Hayes goes out to make the catch. So, at the end of 7, Dawson 5, the Phillies 3. Harry Carey back in the ballpark. Watch this salami of the crowd to Andre Dawson. Andre's army out there in right field, giving him the bow as he tips his cap to them. He leads the National League in homers with 31. He leads the National League in RBIs with 92. And now back to the game with Lee Smith pitching, Manny Trio playing third for the Cubs.
And Lee Smith has picked up a career-high 25 lifetime saves against the Philadelphia Phillies. He's had 4 this year. Smitty comes in at 2-6, 2.77 ERA, 42nd appearance. He's looking for save number 26. 55 in the 3rd innings, 52 hits, 17 earned runs on only 3 homers. He's walked just 14 men and struck out 66 in those 55 in the 3rd innings.
Here's Schmidt. The Platt family from Iowa enjoying Dawson's showing today. Boy, oh boy, Andre, all 5 runs batted in on 3 homers. The only time they got him out with the bases loaded, Mike Schmidt made a remarkable catch and turned it into an unassisted double play. 1 strike on Schmidt. Strike 2, Schmidt. There's no telling how many RBIs Dawson could have. The first inning with the bases loaded, nobody out, on a remarkable catch by Schmidt. Yesterday with the bases loaded when Chris James made a diving catch down the left field line, robbed him of 3 then. There's a pitch a little bit outside. Oakland has beaten Minnesota on Lansford's homer in the 9th inning. Lansford's homer 3-2. 1-2 the count. Fouled it out of play. They're here from Indianapolis watching the game. Lance Klein and Billy Monroe, and so are the Dorchester seniors, guests of Rick and Robin Sutcliffe, who give various tickets to youngsters to attend the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ground ball. Sandberg, 1 out. That brings up Wilson.
Lee just 5 outs away now, and he's doing it a lot with his slider. The slider has gotten better and better as the year has gone along. Now he's really depending on it. And there is a man, like so many before him, just in awe of Andre Dawson. He talked about his home run yesterday, and he'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow watching this performance.
Lee Smith going for save number 26. Throws a fastball by Wilson. 5-3, the Cubs lead. What a remarkable performance by Andre Dawson. Fouled it out of play. 1 man out. Final game of the series and of this homestand tomorrow afternoon. 1 o'clock. Leadoff man, 1:20 game time.
Glenn Wilson had absolutely no chance that at bat. Lee Smith is really firing. The slider is snapping off the table, and he just caught him looking.
Here's Christine. 2 out, nobody on. All game in the 8th. Cubs trying to even up the series with the Phillies. A little bit outside. Cubs have done well against the Phillies. They've won 6, lost 3 going into today's game. Strike call. Rick Sutcliffe tomorrow. Standing room only, outside and inside. You see him on the rooftops. What a beautiful scene Wrigley Field is. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. There's a hit. James singles to right. And that will bring up Lance Parrish. 2 out, runner at first base. A lot of the fans with no lights banners in the stands. I don't think you can enjoy the majestic quality of a home run as well at night as you do in the daytime. 2 out. The pitch. Curveball a little bit low. Lance Parrish, 1 out of 3. 5-3, the Cubs lead. Andre Dawson, 3 homers, good for all the runs. Ball a little bit inside, ball 2.
Now Jeff Calhoun gets up and starts to limber up in the bullpen.
Jelt's due to be the next hitter. If Parrish gets on, I would imagine that pinch hit for him. 2 balls, no strikes. Parrish has hit 9 homers. The pitch. Ball 3 low. 3 home runs have been hit off Smitty this year. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 out. Chris James. The pitch. Walked him, ball 4. And now let's see, Greg Gross is going to be the pinch hitter. Gross, during his lifetime, has hit .336 against Cub pitching.
And he's 9 for 33 with 5 RBIs as a pinch hitter this year, hitting .295 overall. 1 home run, 10 RBIs, a contact hitter who's likely to hit the ball to left or left center field against Lee Smith. Dave Martinez shading him over around that way. And Jerry Mumphrey in fairly close and left.
Now Parrish, a big, ponderous catcher, is a runner at first. It'll be hard for him to score from there, I believe, on an extra base hit. Gross, the pinch hitter. He used to play for the Cubs. He batted .300 when he was with the Cubs. .306, I believe. The pitch. Low ball 1. Ball 2. Gross hit .322 and .265 for the Cubs. And he's with them in 77 and 78.
Looks like Jeff Stone in the on-deck circle.
2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3. Oh, 3-0. Gross is not a home run hitter. He's had only 1. The pitch. Strike one. Gross during his career has only hit 7 home runs in the major league, and he's been here since '73. 3 balls and a strike. Ball 4. The bases are loaded. And Jeff Stone is going to be the hitter.
And now they're going to pinch run for Lance Parrish.
Sure, because that's the tying run.
Darren Dalton comes in to run for him. Give you an idea about the speed of Parrish. Dalton had massive knee surgery. They thought his career was in jeopardy. You can see him wearing the heavy brace on the left knee. And he's coming in to run for Parrish.
Jeff Stone hitting .288.
Jackson, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run over third, 1 home run.
Stone is a pinch hitter this year, 4 for 9. No home runs or RBIs. Gene Michael, a quick trip to the mound. He wants to settle Lee Smith down, who's thrown 1 strike in his last 8 pitches.
I don't think Lee Smith has ever been taken out for a pitcher. I mean, taken out in the middle of an inning. And there's nobody in the bullpen now, which would indicate that there's no thought of that. They're 2 out. He got the first 2 men up this inning. And now here's Jeff Stone. Stone is fast. He has 1 home run. Hitting .288. The outfield plays him towards left field, even though he's a left-hand hitter. The pitch. Strike call. A fine ball game. You should have been on hand today to see Dawson. What a performance. 3 home runs. All 5 runs batted in. 1 strike and nothing. Strike 2. Stone thought it was low. 0-2 the count. Smitty's got him ready for a strikeout. Bases are loaded. The 5 o'clock shadows extending to second base. Steps off the mound. 0-2. The entire third base side of the infield covered by the shadow from the stand. 0-2 the count. Hey, foul back. Not a good cut of the fastball. 0-2. Five to 3 Cubs are Dawson. They give Stone all to right field. Dawson's way over in left center, right center. So is Martinez over in left center. Mumphrey straight away. The pitch. Steps off the rubber. 0-2. Watch this pitch. Bases loaded. Oh, almost threw it away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Try to get a little extra on that fastball. Now let's see if he comes back with the slider away from Jeff Stone. Take a look at the last pitch one more time.
And look at the little ice cream cone in Sundberg's glove. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, bases loaded. Cubs leading by 2. There's the big pitch now. 2-2. Ball 3. 3-2. With 2 out, James single to right, Parrish and Gross walk, and now Stone, the pinch hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody will be running now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch. Here go the runners. The pitch. He struck him out. He swung at a high fastball. That would have been ball 4, but it ends the inning. 3 men are left on base. They go to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs still lead 5-3. A beautiful day at Wrigley Field with Steve Stone and Harry Carey back from at the ballpark. They're going to the bottom of the 8th. Watch this pitch. Here's a replay on the strikeout with the bases loaded.
This ball is up and out of the strike zone, and fortunately, Jeff Stone was not patient, and he swung through it. And Louis Aguayo comes in to play shortstop. Jeff Calhoun on the mound. Darren Dalton behind the plate. So a shakeup in the lineup for Philadelphia, and Jeff Calhoun becomes the 4th Philadelphia pitcher of the day. 2.57 ERA, his 10th appearance, only 7 innings. 4 earned runs, 4 runs. 2 earned, 1 home run, walked 5, and struck out 4.
Here's Calhoun. Swung, slow tap, the throw, he's out. Nochi tapped the ball softly. Calhoun made the play, 1 out.
Just a reminder, the Cub Players and Wives softball game will be held Sunday, August 2nd from 11:40 to 12:30. Included in the Cub Wives lineup are Cindy Sandberg, Robin Sutcliffe, Vanessa Dawson, and many, many more. That's tomorrow from 11:40 to 12:30. And then the big matchup between Shane Raleigh and Rick Sutcliffe.
Well, it'd be good to see how the Wives look in the Cub uniform tomorrow. 1 out. Here's Manny Trio. 5-3, Andre Dawson. What a day. Well, we got to get a couple men on to give Dawson a chance to hit his 4th today. There's a strike call. Well, he'll be working on a string tomorrow, his first time at bat. Shane Raleigh against Rick Sutcliffe tomorrow afternoon. Each team will have its best pitcher going. 1 ball, 1 strike. What I want to know, there's strike 2. Arnie, how in the world are you going to distinguish between each of Dawson's home runs for the Budweiser Player of the Game? 1 ball, 2 strikes. You better take the most productive, the 3-run job. The pitch, a little bit inside. As a matter of fact, I think that went the longest distance.
Arnie, I'll tell you what, I know it's a little more work for you. Why don't you just do a collage of all 31 of Andre's home runs and make it the Budweiser Play of the Game?
33,002 paid today. That must mean about 5,000 no-show. Here's strike 3 swinging. Calhoun strikes out trio. Here's Martinez. This is the second time he's batting against a left-hander today.
And Philadelphia has really gone through their bullpen the last couple of days. 5 pitchers yesterday. Gross, Jackson, Calhoun, Tekulve, and Bedrosian. And today, Hume started, followed by Ritchie, Jackson, and now Calhoun again.
Calhoun's pitch, 29-year-old veteran, used to be with Houston, throws a fastball outside. Hey, show those figures again, will you, Arnie? One ball, no strikes. The pitch, strike call. There's the Cubs. 1,456,000 plus for 54 days. An average of about 27,000 per game. 2 balls and a strike. Slightly over 500,000 to go for 2 million. And with the Mets here for a 4-game series on the next homestand, ought to go a long way towards that. 2 out, 3-1 to count. The pitch to Martinez. Walked the ball 4. That's the 4th time today Martinez has been on base. Well, if we can get 2 more men on, Dawson would bat again today, shooting for 4 home runs in a row. There's Sandberg 0 for 3, or 0 for 2 rather. Walked twice. Boy, Martinez has walked 3 times as a leadoff man. Sandberg has walked twice. Durham walked once. The Cubs have been beneficiaries of 8 bases on ball. 1 strike to Sandberg. Whoa, a line drive right back at Calhoun for the out. He didn't know he had it. So at the end of 8, the Cubs 5, Phillies 3. With Steve Stone, Harry Carey back. We go into the 9th. Cubs 3 outs away from a victory. They lead 5-3.
And that reflects the score of the day. Andre Dawson 5, the Phillies 3. Andre has been everything all year to this ball club, but it was never so graphically illustrated as it has been today.
Here's Samuel to lead it off. I can just see that headline on the 2 daily papers tomorrow. Dawson 5, Phillies 3, and no story was more graphically put. I always knew you beat him to the headline, Arnie.
I think Lee Smith might be having a few back problems. He was stretching it out on the back of the mound. Hopefully it won't affect his control.
Pitch is high. Boy, oh boy, you stop to think how bad that pitch to Stone was. Samuel coming up next. It could have been a disastrous 8th inning.
You know, Lee said his back was bothering him like it did a few years back.
Strike, a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
As you can well imagine, they couldn't afford to lose this fella. Be tough for anybody else on this staff to shut the door like Lee can.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's a little tap down to Manny Trio. He throws the first, 1 out. Samuel is 0 for 5 for the day. Here's Milt Thompson. He made a key out in the 7th inning against Lancaster. That was the last man Lancaster faced. Here's the pitch. A little bit inside. Well, Luss's high school baseball coach. A lot of friends here from Texas to see him pitch today. They will have been well rewarded. 0-2. 2 balls, no strikes. Boy, get this guy. Let's Hayes and Schmidt next. Strike call. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. 9th inning. There's Jody Davis. The pitch. Swung in the net. I imagine Jody will be catching tomorrow. Rick Sutcliffe pitching. It's been a great battery. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled it out of play. Oh, that is a fine new typewriter you have, Jack. Did that come on the expense account? Where did that happen where his typewriter got hit?
Right here in this ballpark.
2-2 pitch. High, ball 3. I don't know why you didn't use your imagination a couple of years ago. Just dropped the microphone there, or the typewriter on the ground. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball, headed for left. A base hit. Ooh, now. Unless Hayes hits him to a double play, Smith is going to have to face Mike Schmidt. One out, 1 on. Hayes hasn't had a hit in this series, 0 for 7. Now Durham lets Smith know that he's going to play back off the bag. A little bit outside. And that information is important because we don't want to have another bomb. Cubs have more than their share of them, 26. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball to Mike Schmidt next.
A nervous time for Gene Michael.
A nervous time for everybody. 2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3.
Lee will make it exciting from time to time, won't he?
Well, he had the bases loaded with 2 walks and a hit after 2 were out in the 8th. 3 balls, no strikes. There's a strike call. 3-1. The wind blowing towards left field. A little stronger now. 3 balls and a strike. Hey, swung and a miss. Hayes was going for the long one, trying to tie it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle of base hit. Here's Thompson around second on his way to third. Well, there is a double play chance now. Runners at first and third. If he can make him hit the ball at the ground at somebody. But Mike Schmidt with 22 homers will be the hitter.
Fastball out away from Vaughn Hayes, and he drives it back up the middle. Thompson knows that Dave Martinez is not going to try to throw him out and put the tying run on second base, so he goes uncontested from first to third. And the man who's grounded into 11 double plays this year is at bat, second on the ball club behind Lance Parrish.
Hayes, good speed at first base. Thompson at third base. The stretch. Swung and he missed it. He was going for it. A high fastball. He missed it. Now Schmidt hits the ball hard to the other field too.
Steve Bedrosian up and throwing in the bullpen for the Phillies.
Now ready? First and third, 1 out. A little outside. A ball and a strike. Smith came in to pitch the 8th. Got Schmidt on a ground ball, the first hitter he faced. 1-1 pitch. Double play ball. Nice play out at second. Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win! A great play by Sandberg and Noche, who turned the double play over. What a play to end the great ball game on. We're going to have to show you that play again. The ball was hit like a bullet up the middle. You know, if Sandberg could come up with it, he'd have a chance at the double play. Watch this. Here it is. Now watch Noche get out of the way. Perfect throw. Hey, a gal came charging out on the field to get an autograph. And she's being let off now by an usher. But she got an autograph all right. The Cubs have won the game 5-3. Wow, what a way to end it. The totals in a moment.